Hello there, welcome back to another review. So Game of Death is legendary for being the film we never got to see Bruce Lee complete. Production began in 1972, but it was during this time that Lee actually got the call to appear in Enter the Dragon, and as we all know, unfortunately he died shortly after the completion of that movie. The finished version of what we get of Game of Death, released in 1978 and directed by Robert Clouse, is very, very different from what Bruce originally had in mind. The story follows Billy Lowe, only played by Bruce during the last 12 minutes, but the rest of the time it's stand-ins, most notably Kim Tai-chung. So Billy Lowe is shot for refusing to join a syndicate. He fakes his own death to hunt down the gang, with a large portion of the film being him wearing disguises like fake beards, big sunglasses, which leads to a build-up to the finale where we get to see the real Bruce take over. Now, to its credit, they really did try with Game of Death. We have a great score by John Barry. There's also a really awesome supporting cast with Colin Camp, Roy Chow and Hugh O'Brien, but obviously, unfortunately, you can dress it up as much as you like and put as many bells and whistles on it as you want, but the main selling point of the movie was always going to be to see new footage of Bruce Lee. Now, the original concept of Game of Death was going to be Bruce's attempt to educate the world on different martial arts, involving the story with him fighting his way up the top of this pagoda, each level containing a different martial arts expert and the top being valuable treasure. Unfortunately, the story we do get bears very little resemblance to what Bruce originally had in mind, and one will be better off watching The Silent Flute, or Circle of Iron as it's known, in order to grasp more of Bruce Lee's philosophy. There are also some scenes in the film that don't really sit well and can be seen as cheap or downright distasteful. For example, the infamous photo of Bruce Lee taped on a mirror, or the use of real footage of Bruce Lee's corpse in an open casket. There is also some frustration with the movie, as this probably could have been one of, if not Bruce's finest piece of work had he lived to complete it. But despite these setbacks and negative elements to the movie, the film still went on to be iconic and legendary in its own right. From Bruce Lee's awesome yellow tracksuit, the Nunchaku battle with Dan Inosanto, the David and Goliath fight where Bruce takes on the towering Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the fact the movie has inspired so much media since, including movies like The Raid, Dread and even Die Hard, you could argue, takes cues from Game of Death. Jackie Chan even pays homage to it in City Hunter. Now, obviously it's a shame they couldn't orientate the film more around what Bruce had intended, but despite this, Game of Death is a must watch just because of how iconic and legendary it has become. And ironically, it's a movie that does actually get a bit better with age and with each viewing. And to be honest, the music done by John Barry, I have to say, is pretty damn awesome. So whilst Game of Death, it does have its faults, it does have its flaws, and it does stray quite a long way from Bruce's original vision, it is still worth your time and worth checking out, if nothing else just simply for the fact of how much the film has inspired and influenced other media over the years since its release. Make sure to go and check out Game of Death.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.